Hello everyone, my name is Olectralab and welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel depending on whether or not you've been here before. This is a little update. I've been working on the quantum computer. So I think we've got one of the cyclers is going. I should really turn the cycler off. It just keeps changing the beam color. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to have that off. This one also seems to be cycling, even though I thought I turned it off. Why is it still going? There's a lot of different moving parts in this computer, and it can be a bit of a nightmare keeping track of which bits are where. I've had a little bit of an attempt at making a display screen. It hasn't gone super amazingly well so far. I've got this giant grid of colored glass that has not been programmed yet. It's just colored glass, but the idea was if I have enough of these pistons pushed in at the right distance, then from a really long way away I'll be able to make a graphical display. Hasn't been working out super great so far, and also I need faster clocks in order to have the refresh rate of the screen be high enough to actually see anything. So all the data that's stored in this bit bank behind here is pretty much useless just because the bit rate of refreshing the screen is just so painfully slow, and also there's no backlighting on this particular system. So I've got a few of these different systems here. These are all just prototypes of a very similar system for how I'm going to get a display picture. I still haven't figured out exactly what I want to display on the screen so far. This is how it works behind the scenes. So there's a bunch of glass, that's the colors of the screen, and then I have a matrix of these little redstone torches here that trigger the pistons to fire in a chain. So there's multiple layers here. This one goes up and then one goes across. Now not all of these have been fully filled in yet. The first layer is done over here. And this is basically like a little tiny D-latch computer made of piston D-latches for bit storage, and we have a clock here for cycling them. And the idea is that I would set the blocks in the position that I want to display the image, and then the beacons will cycle on. But the problem with these particular displays is they're not very big, they're not very high resolution, and it's just not great because you've only got one layer of depth. So then I developed this, which is a 4-layer thick screen. So this is a 4-level display screen. This one doesn't actually work anymore because I destroyed like half of it, but I do have some working versions on the other side of this giant qubit here. If we come through here, I've saved some copies. Each one is like a sort of an iteration. Some are just clones. So how it works is we have all these levers over here, and some of them are the reset, which is just the beacon trigger. If I look close at the beacons here, there's 4 layers of beacons, but they will only be triggered once a 9 grid is completed. So I have meticulously staggered the blocks in such a way that none of the beacons are on, but that all of the beacons can be toggled. And they are 42 long, and I think it's about 504 factorial bits of storage within this PC, or I say PC, but this particular thing with 1 layer of glass, if you count the color glass as the data storage. But really I'm just going to be using it as a display screen, like a monitor. Alright, so I put signs here to remind me not to click the certain ones. If we come over here, I'm just trying to remember which one does what. Right, beacons on. Oh my god, I should have made a note because there's so many things. Okay, I think the reset, the ones that say reset, that is a trigger for one stage. So the idea is I will have a 4 thick layer display screen. This is I believe it's a 42 long. It's 42 long by 4, and this is just the base for the display screen. So I'm going to be standing. I don't even know if I'll ever finish this. I might just abandon this project halfway through. But we're going to be standing really, really far away, and notice how with only one layer of beacons, we only get like so much resolution. Like you can see it's even distorting there. You can see horrible little hyperbolas forming in the beacon screen there. I don't know if that's just on my end of the monitor or what it is, but it's not very good. But if I add 4 layers and somehow figure out how to put multiple color cyclers through the beacon, then maybe I can change the beacons fast enough in order to get like a YouTube 380p video through. And I have to manually program each pixel, which is going to be a nightmare. I'm not going to click the cycler because the cycler is just really annoying to reset. There's like so many blocks you've got to change in order to reset it to 0, and there's no way you'll get to the end of the clock cycle because it'll last probably like years of real time before it gets to the end of the cycle and resets. And then you've got to be perfectly timed, and never mind. I'm going on a side tangent here. This is the outer beacon reset. I click this, and I click it again, and then I click it again, and then I click it again. You've got to remember how many times to click it as well. That's really annoying. And then we come over here. I think that was the wrong trigger actually. Where is it? Which one is it? I'm having a hard time because I'm holding the microphone with one hand, and then I'm also trying to play the game with the other hand, both playing the keyboard and the mouse with one hand. Alright, if I click this lower reset button, is that the one? Is it the one? Did I do it? Something's supposed to be happening. Click. I know you've got power. Oh, come on. What have I done wrong here? Oh, that's right. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Oh, no. Never mind. It was just a bit of a delay. Here we go. Okay, so now with those 3 cycles shifted, we have a 3-layer beacon. And on the other side, there should be another reset lever. I don't know how the first person made a liquid crystal display. It must have been a nightmare to program because I'm having trouble in Minecraft. For delay reset, I should click this one. Oh no, this is the annoying one where I've got to click it 4 times before it works. I hope it doesn't mess it up if I click the 2-shift cycler at the same time. Whoops, that's the glass cycler, my bad. Can I do it again? Okay, there we go, retracted it. I hope that wasn't the cycler. If it is, it's going to be glass left. No, it wasn't. Okay, that's good. Okay. Right beacon's on. Which one is it? Which one is it? I'm trying to remember if it's this one. If I click them in the wrong order, the blocks can shift each other just because of how it's made, and it's a pain to reset. I'm really hoping it doesn't happen. Please work. No! Oh no. I forgot which lever goes where. Okay, so I have, in my stupidity, forgotten which lever does which thing. I don't want to spend forever finding out which one, but there is a lever somewhere on here that triggers the last beacon set. Oh, that's right, my bad. 1 second. I think it's over here. One of these is the trigger. I don't want to hit the cycler. That one will do a basic... Okay, this one. It's this one. I have to click this one. If I click the other one, it's going to cycle it. That's going to be really annoying. Okay, is it 1 click or 2 clicks? Okay, so that's the first one. Some of these you have to click them twice in order for it to register. Okay, this one goes here. And the ones that I'm trying to trigger are the emeralds. And they are linked to the netherite blocks. And the netherite blocks are linked to here. And oh, okay, that's wrong. I've flicked the wrong lever. It is this one here. Now that should trigger them. And okay, now we've got all 4 beacons working. And just as a sort of proof of concept, we have the 2-shift thingy over here, which when I click it twice, should cycle it to a rainbow. This is just sort of the blue screen of death rainbow. That just shows that the colors are working. So the idea is, now that I've got 4 layers of beacon to work with, I can add depth to the color, hopefully, from one side or another, and then by turning the beacons on and off really fast, I might be able to get an image going, like a sort of a hologram. I don't know how that's going to work exactly with the player being stuck in one position, because when you move, it's going to change the how it looks. Even now, it's a little bit trippy. And I was thinking, if I look at it from a diagonal, then the beacons are going to be thicker, which means I'll get a higher resolution. So in order to properly get an image, I'll have to have it diagonal, but even then it's going to be tiny. This is a bit of a nightmare. If anyone has ideas about how to make a better, simpler, less over-engineered solution to this that does not involve mods or scripts or anything, let me know. I might have a crack at it. Anyway, that's what these are, and each one of these, I was gonna use some of them as displays, and others I was just gonna use for data storage by blocking over the beacons and just using all of the clicker things before the beacon as storage clocks. But I don't really know if that's the best idea yet or not, or if I should just redesign a new base for storage like that. I've got these big qubits over here, and I was thinking of using them to store mass quantities of data, but they're not super efficient, and they're pretty bad, to be honest. Also, I added this goofy little feature for getting rid of phantoms, which is to flick this lever twice, flick it any more or any less times, and it's a nightmare to clean up. It basically freezes time and fries every phantom in the area. And also there's a little bit of a beacon show here. I would show you up close what each qubit looks like when it detonates with lightning, but it's pretty laggy and there's a lot of moving blocks, so I might save that for another time. Anyway, this is the control panel. It's just a sort of a base. It's an absolute mess at the moment, actually. It's terribly engineered. I'm thinking about just making a new world and starting all over again. This was the second world. I made a prototype in one of the first worlds, and it was just a pain. And I couldn't think straight because there was so much mess, and it was getting to that point in this world. So I don't know if I should move or start a new world, but eventually I will find a better way to build this computer. Each one of these giant blocks here has a clock at the base, and then a bunch of blocks that, it's a terrible system, to be honest, because reading it is a nightmare. Each block is shifted to a position, and each block's position represents a bit of stored data, but there's no way to read it, really. You can cycle it, but you can't read it, so it's kind of garbage. Anyway, that's enough of me mumbling about my silly computer. It's not very good. If you somehow, by some miracle, made it to this point in the video, all the way along, you should probably go outside at some point in time, because this is not very interesting. But thank you, regardless, nonetheless. Feel free to subscribe, or not. Have an excellent day. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.